this one actually looks like a movie. Like the way they color graded it looks like holy shit, this could have been shown in a theater.
I think it's the same production quality as 5.
Wait. Did Bloodlines, did that have the kitchen scene? With the
one of
Tremor?
them did. Also, the Bloodlines. Just I know we talked about it, but we didn't to specifically say the Bloodlines in the title are that he has a relative, Jamie Kennedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Bloodlines TM, I'm your son. It's like, oh, okay. I thought it had something to do with Tremors.
But
kinda.
I believe it was that one where there is a kitchen scene with a tremor in a kitchen. It's like, okay, that's a little annoying.
Well, it's definitely the Shreikers.
So anyway, Shreiker Island.
Which is fine.
It's Richard Brakes.
Richard Brakes. The
Richard
bad
Brake,
guy?
yeah.
Yes.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Me and him, we're buddies.
Right, the Dark Knight crew.
We were both in those movies together. Did you see over the weekend? I turned on Netflix and it's like number 4 movie on Netflix, The Dark Knight Rises. I'm like, well, a lot of my fans are watching this movie today.
He might have gotten a little bit more screen time than you, though, Tony. I just gotta say.
In Batman Begins, he did have a little bit more screen time than me. But I mean, I think we're both. I think my seems better, to be honest.
He got paid. You got a poster.
Yeah.
Who's the real loser, you know?
I paid him to do a joke interview.
Did you really?
Yeah. The plot of this one is like he has an island.
It's Jurassic Park.
He captures.
Or what was that Van Damme movie where the rich guy hires like they kidnap like homeless people to like shoot them for sport?
Well, that's also
well, that's the most dangerous game.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah, but that
Van Damme though.
There's a Van Damme movie. It's not Bloodsport because that's a totally different thing. But it's
no, okay.
It's something like
Van Damme was in probably a ripoff.
I don't remember a Van Damme Most Dangerous Game movie, but I know the one with Ice-T.
Okay.
With Rucker Hauer. What the hell was that one?
I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, it's like that, but it's monsters.
Because Richard Brake is both a big game hunter, like tour guide guy, and a geneticist.
Yes.
Question mark.
So he gets. I don't know if the graboids were already there or if he imports them.
He imports them because they're not native to the island.
Right.
Hence, it's Shreiker Island.
Right, and then he's juicing them up genetically.
Yeah.
And really like messing with their DNA. We finally get Shreikers again.
Yes.
And they are like crazy looking. Like their bones are protruding.
Yeah,
and
they're all fucked up.
This is the one where they have a new skill where they can scream and disorient.
Oh, okay. So that is new. That wasn't just like, they always had this, but we didn't focus on it.
No, they make a point to say
like
it's new.
Super Shreikers.
Because there's a bunch of times where like Gummer's like, oh, like having like PTSD flashbacks while these things are screaming. I'm like,
I do like
something.
I do like that he's like taking like doctors and dentists on these hunts.
Yeah.
Because that happens in the real world.
That's what it is. Just like the big game lion hunters and
Yes.
stuff like that. And they're getting shit-faced and trashed, and it's like, you're all going to your deaths.
But
Mr.
meanwhile,
Bowtie.
Yes.
Meanwhile, there's like this environmental group, I guess, led by Jamie Kennedy's character's mom. But
he's not in it. Yeah.
Yes, because he had. I was explaining to you beforehand.
Yeah.
He just did a whole video on it, and you can check it out on his channel. He had a movie he wanted to do with Universal. He ended up being in these movies, and he kept trying to pitch it, but they weren't interested. And then apparently the offer they gave him for this movie,
the same as the first Tremors I did. And I'm like, what about bonuses? And they're like, oh, they're halved.
and he was like, "Nah, I'm out." Which I would do the same, to be honest.
Yeah,
but he wants to be in more. That's the thing. Like in the whole video, he's like, "No, I want to be the next Bert." It was what it was building to. He's like, "But we just couldn't negotiate it."
My thing with that is like, you also got to eat, and I don't think I mean, unless somehow he survived the Scream franchise, he's not coming back for that, right? So
they got another videotape lying around.
Take the fucking Tremors movie, bud.
But I mean, he's also probably got other stuff that he could do too. To be honest,
I mean, I don't know.
He was supposed to be in that big Brad Pitt movie, but his scene got cut out.
But was he in it?
Ad Astra. Well, he still got paid. He was in the movie, but the scene was removed. Just, it happens. Characters.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
As long as he got paid, that's good.
Yeah, he got paid. So he's definitely missing.
Yeah. Well,
and they try to...
They fudge it over with Napoleon Dynamite, and I'm like,
well, again, like I was saying earlier, they always have to have these characters in pairs, I guess, because they couldn't think of a better plot reason for them to be talking.
It's just weird to have this reunion with Bert and this former lover, but not have the kid present.
Because that's the crux of the
now, what I like about Bert
drama.
is... what I love about Bert is that Perfection Nevada wanted to install a sewer system, which would have meant more regulation and stuff from the government. And he went, no. And he went to live on the desert island by himself instead of paying the government.
He's like Tom fucking Hanks in Castaway with the full
he's
beard.
got the long hair and everything.
He really does look like Terry O'Quinn once he shaves it off.
When he shaves up, dude, he looks just like Terry O'Quinn in Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% John Locke staring right at you through the screen.
So they have to find him because now, like, some of them get off the island, right, and attack them, or
yeah, and then John Heater goes to find him because like we need help, and he's like standing there like
because they swim over to the other island,
right,
and they attack like the group that's there.
I don't know why Bert's surprised by anything now. He's like, they don't swim. It's like, dude.
They swim now?
You should just expect it. I would have been like, oh yeah, I guess they swim now. That's a new thing we got to deal with.
They fly anyway with their farts.
Like
do.
I wouldn't be surprised, but it wouldn't surprise me that they.
This definitely is the most Jurassic Park. Like,
oh yeah,
especially toward the end, it's a lot like Jurassic World with the raptors in the jungle.
This is also around the time when sci-fi. What was this, like 15, 14? This came out. That might have even been the one before.
This one came out like last year.
Oh, Jesus.
No, this was 2019.
Okay, I was going to say these last few are definitely in the era of sci-fi of giant snake versus giant octopus, Megasaurus versus Mechasaurus.
And that was in like the early 2000s.
Well, I'm saying in the last 20 years they've been doing these movies heavy duty.
Yeah.
We should probably mention briefly, like, between this was going to be the Kevin Bacon pilot.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you wanted to talk about that before.
Yeah, the Kevin Bacon pilot they were going to do, and that was going to be complete. It was one of those reboots that ignores all the sequels.
That was 2018.
That's 2018.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Could have been interesting.
The trailer looks fucking cool.
They apparently shot a pilot. It was really good. I thought it was kind of mean to the original writer who stuck with the series and came up with the lore, and everyone has stuck around. And then they're like, fuck that, we got Kevin Bacon back. It's like, well, this isn't like Halloween where like the sequels were abysmal. Like, I kind of like some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Do we
still
keep
it in there, right?
Yeah.
Why not? And who knows what it would have boasted, or bolded, you know what I mean?
Well, now we know from before recording that they had a bunch of props that are available on eBay right now. You can get a Graboid action figure for $900.
Somebody buy me a Graboid action figure for $900.
Because when they shot, because I think it was like it's in an alternate universe where Kevin Bacon is the hero and he has all the merch.
Oh yeah, well of course.
But apparently the props they made their way onto eBay. So they say like screen used, but it was for something that never aired.
Huh. Well, to be fair, he did get all the money in the
That's
first
true.
movie.
That's true.
Okay.
Merchandising.
That one was real interesting because the Graboid looked different. It was like a different kind of worm with just one big tongue.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked kind of neat.
It was interesting, but they decided not to go forward with that. Probably because
very cinematic. Let's put it that way.
I'm guessing these were cheaper to make.
Big time.
And
probably
still doing. They were pretty big on Netflix. Netflix pushed these pretty hard.
That's why I said they're the most successful. Consistent.
Now they're all on Peacock.
Well, consistently decent series,
right?
Yeah,
that were made for next to nothing.
These are when people are going into like the FYEs and the Best Buys and just picking up for like $12. Like,
you get all 7 movies.
Well, that's the thing. It's guaranteed to at least be decent.
Yeah. Every one of these is a decent time.
Because you could, like I said, why would I buy just Tremors 1 when I can get all the sequels
for the same
price?
Why pay? Why pay $45 for the just one Tremors movie when you could pay $15 for all 7?
Well, you get all those extra
I know.
H's or D's or whatever.
I'm just being a dick.
Yeah, so I mean, he reunites with the woman, and it's fine. I will say, talk about shapely. So Jackie Cruz, I didn't really pay much attention to her in Orange Is the New Black. She was the girl with like the heavy eye makeup and like the dark black hair.
Yeah.
Holy shit, shapely. I was like, Jesus Christ, where were those in all 6 seasons of Orange Is the New Black?
Which character is this?
She's the Latina girl.
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay.
The real short-haired one who's like trying to make John Heder a man. He's just like, you gotta man up.
Oh my God.
He's like, I was raised by a single mom. He's like, single moms are awesome.
he was fine in this. He was less of a second banana than I thought he would be.
I will say, I do like the kind of twist. I mean, there are still plenty of guns in this, but there's like this added thing where they don't have, like Bert doesn't have access to all the guns he usually does.
Right. It's not a military operation.
Yeah, so he has to be creative.
He has to be creative because he's been living on that goddamn island.
Yes.
By himself.
But there is the one girl, Lara Croft with the
oh my God, yeah, could that cosplay be any more accurate? And she was cool.
That is they are starting the movies end up being like real derivative, this more so than some of the other ones. Yeah.
It's full out like cookie cutter Here's the badass hunter chick. Here's the bad guy who's doing all the stuff. Here's Burt Gummer, of course, the aging hero that we know and love.
Yes.
And then the young comedy relief underdog guy, question mark.
Yeah. I love that there's like an even bigger graboid because it's super juiced up.
Right.
And it's like gigantic, but
Yeah.
Because Richard Brake is purposely making it like steroided up.
I thought Richard Brake was going to hang out around a little bit more
too.
toward the end. He gets killed off pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'll look at the runtime after he eats it. It's
I-
like, oh, 25 minutes left. Okay.
I do love that he loses his mind toward the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's just taking a bath. He's like, you should walk to the end of the bridge so the guy can get eaten. He's just shooting
I
him.
also forget if it's this one or one of the earlier ones. Like, it's definitely the back half of the series where there's totally a dude that gets like eaten through a toilet, through an outhouse. And I just thought that was hilarious because the only other person I ever saw do something like that was this guy over here in his short film Outhouse.
I mean,
Dude,
I've
does
seen
somebody get eaten through an outhouse?
They totally get pulled through a toilet. If it's not this, it's one of the earlier ones.
It's in this one.
Yes.
So it took them 7 movies to have a tremor. I'm fucking doing it.
I'm doing it.
It's a graboid.
Graboid.
I was calling them Tremors the whole time I'm watching it, even though they call them Graboid, Shriekers, this, that, and the other thing.
Bert goes out. He jumps into the belly of the beast, giving it the finger.
Yeah.
That was great.
And I do like it. So they kind of recreate how they killed the graboid in the first one, where they trick it into going off a cliff. But at the bottom of this cliff is like sharp spikes of dynamite.
But it gets him.
The Mortal Kombat version.
So Bert is like fucking dead. I mean, if they bring him back, it's gonna be hard to explain. But
this is like Vince McMahon coming back from the limousine blowing up. They just have to say, oh, it was a storyline. Don't worry about it.
I hope they don't bring him back, really.
They don't need to. It is annoying though that if he doesn't come back, there wasn't that like moment of him and Jamie Kennedy kind of like actually handing off the franchise to him.
I don't think they're doing another one personally, unless it's a reboot.
Just wait another 10 years. There'll be another Tremors.
Well, that's usually how it works every 10 years. Oh, weren't you here 10 years ago? Next sequel. Wasn't that 10 years ago?
Jamie Kennedy will still be kicking around. He's like, I'm ready.
I do think Michael Grossi did say like he's not sure if they're going to do another one. He said he would do it, but even he admits he's like, well, I'm going to be like 70 something. I don't know how much more I can do.
He's done 7 of these movies. 7.
And the show.
7. He could. I was talking about those videotapes. Instead of finding one of Randy's tapes, they find one of Gumman's tapes. The Gummer's tapes. They put that on. They get a little, play-by-play, like in Scream. That's how he gets his cameo.
Exactly.
I don't know if he could carry the rest of the movie. I think he put that tape in every few minutes. We need some more Gummer.
Forget everything you know about graboids.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like speaking of derivative, they give him like the Logan ending with like the cross on the hill. I will say I was dying at the end where it's like April 14th is Burt Gummer Day.
Yes.
I'm like, what's April 14th? Like, oh shit, it's tax day.
All right, well, that's the goof, right?
And they give you the nice little montage of his life throughout the films.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I think they include
credits.
his ancestor for some reason.
He played this part.
Yeah.
It was a fine way.
I will say when you
wrap it
watch
up.
him and when you watch them so close together, there's a point in part 9 where they play the educational video about graboids from part 5. And having just watched part 5 like the day before, I'm like, all right.
Hold on, part 9?
Wait, did I miss part 7. In part 7, they play the same educational video from part 5, like almost in its entirety.
Which I love in the educational video that it's like cartoons like out of like Fallout or something.
Because they didn't want to rebuild any of those monsters.
I do love how they have like something that shows, oh, these things work with vibration. Is little Lex from fucking Jurassic Park on the pogo?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
How'd
Cool.
they
I
get
like
that
details
footage?
like that.
Somebody was there documenting it the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the 7 Tremors films.